Her 20 straight wins rank her #2 in the history of Jeopardy! And administrator of a female-centric website from Wilmette, Illinois, Julia Collins. In 2004, his 74 wins and $2.5 million in earnings set the benchmark by which all others are measured. A writer from Seattle, Washington, Ken Jennings. One of Jeopardy's most memorable contestants, he earned over $400,000 during his 12-day streak. A bartender from New York, New York, Austin Rogers.
Welcome back, captains. It gives me great pleasure to have been the one to release you from sequestration purgatory. I've often thought that was probably the most difficult part for any contestant competing in a tournament. You don't get a chance to see the games that go before you because we don't want you to know what the scores were for the teams that did not win their games. I can't tell you what the scores were for the two teams that were runners-up in last week's games. I can tell you that match number 1 was won by Brad's team. Does that surprise you, Ken?
Doesn't surprise me at all. That's often what happens when I watch Brad play Jeopardy.
Really? Yeah, his record is intact. He has never lost to a human being in any tournament. You guys had the misfortune to play against that IBM computer, of course. Now, one thing the three of you have in common is that after your appearances as contestants and champions on Jeopardy, you all got to be media stars. Julia, was it ever overwhelming for you? Because as soon as you won that 20th game and close to $500,000, every talk show in America wanted you as a guest.
It was exciting, but it was a little overwhelming. It was quite unexpected.
It's hard to cope with sometimes, right? Because you're a quiet person, and all of these people are coming at you from all different corners. Now, Ken, you were a champion for 74 shows in a row. And you know, of course, you heard the story of David Letterman making jokes about you and me moving to Massachusetts and taking out a license because we spent so much time together.
It was a magical summer for both of us, I think.
Yes, it was. But your great run on Jeopardy managed more than any other contestant, I think, to change your life. You left Utah, you moved to Washington State, you started writing more than you had in the past, you've created games, you've written books, and so what has the impact been on your life and on your family's life?
You know, it's totally unexpected. Nobody goes on Jeopardy thinking they're going to get famous. And sometimes some do, and it's a weird thing. But it's really been a great joy. You know, the fact that I work home now, the fact that I work from home now, that I write books. I'm home when my kids come home from school. I can do the carpool. You know, the main thing Jeopardy did is bought me more time with my family, which has been great.
And your family, and you and I talked about this backstage last week, your family has grown. I mean, when you started on the program, that was 15, 16 years ago, and now how old are they?
My son was 2 at the time, and he's now 16. I just got a cell phone picture this morning of him driving a car around
I hope it was your car.
Driving a rental car around a parking lot, so fingers crossed that everything went well.
And are the kids more aware now, and I imagine they are, of your great success as a player on Jeopardy?
Yeah, my kids are 16 and 12, and I remember my son was too young to even notice anything weird was going on. You know, he'd see me on TV, but I got to go on Sesame Street, and I remember telling him, "Hey, Dylan, I'm going to be on Sesame Street. It's me and Grover, look." And he was like, "Yeah, you know, I know Dad, I know Grover. Now they hang out, you know." Big deal. Like, he had no idea anything fun was going on.
Yeah. Now, Austin, your great success as a champion on Jeopardy has brought you a whole slew of new opportunities, and yet, in spite of that, you still have kept I won't call it your day job, but your night job. You're still a bartender?
Alex, I'm just a humble bartender from New York City, you know. No, of course. I mean, my bartending job is fantastic. I get to hang out with my friends and wake up at 10 o'clock at night. It's absolutely perfect. Day jobs are for, you know, suckers. But the great thing is all these opportunities like Ken's and like Julia's that have opened up. I have a great podcast where I've been traveling the world, literally Southeast Asia, all over the United States. Europe's the next on the docket, interviewing really interesting people.
Are you guys recognized still whenever you travel around the country?
20 times a day, people come into my bar and ask for autographs and selfies. 20 times a day.
Happened at the airport yesterday. Got me through TSA quicker, I think.
And Julia?
I fly under the radar, but it's happened, you know, at inopportune times, like in a rental car line when I was half asleep, things like that.
All right. The three of you are going to lead your teams in match number 2. We're going to start with you, Julia, and take you back to draft day and how you selected your team. Let's take a look.
Julia drew the 4th and 9th picks in the draft.
I want somebody who's going to be a good teammate, but also a tough competitor. So you know who I'm going for, Ben Ingram.
We were competitors once, we are now friends. She is a very, very good player and a knowledgeable one too.
For her second pick, Julia chose 12-game champion Seth Wilson.
So I'm really excited to be playing with Julia. She was definitely one of the captains I was hoping would pick me.
It was a full field of great players, and I got 2 of them.
This is Team Julia.
Now, Ben beat you in the Tournament of Champions, and yet you became good friends after that, and that was one of the reasons you selected him for your team.
Yes, you know, I knew he was a tough competitor, but he's also a really nice guy, a loyal guy, easy to get along with. And then, like I said, a really good player. I mean, he beat me, so thought that said a lot.
It does indeed. Now, Ken, let's take a look at your selection of your teammates.
Ken drew the 3rd and 10th picks in the draft.
What are you looking for in a teammate?
Maybe it's just because of like how I came up on Jeopardy back in the day, Alex, but I really respect a long regular season streak. I'm gonna go with Matt Jackson. I had Matt, for example, seated very high, and I couldn't believe he was still there with the 3rd pick. I was happy to grab him.
For his second pick, Ken went with a proven competitor, Monica Tieu.
The first time I met Monica, she beat me head-to-head at a trivia game, so I remembered.
I think that we have someone who can specialize in every round.
This is Team Ken.
Now, Ken, did either one of those teammates influence you in terms of how you are approaching this tournament? Because I know Matt, he prepared how many flashcards in preparation?
It's upwards of 300,000, I think. Both Matt and Monica are very serious, knowledgeable Jeopardy players, students of the game. And so Matt's done, you know, laser-like focus on studying. And Monica has sent me, you know, data visualizations of different Final Jeopardy and Daily Double configurations. They're extremely serious about Jeopardy. It scares me a little.
And Monica, one of the youngest. Austin, we're going to take a look now at you making your selection for this All-Star Games.
Austin drew the 2nd and 11th picks in the draft.
No one probably wants to be on my team because I'm reckless. So, hey, Roger Craig. Roger Craig has this sort of ballsy level of laissez-faire betting strategy that might either one jive or two become oil and water.
For his second pick, Austin chose former teen tournament winner Leonard Cooper.
We got youth right here, which could balance out what we got going on. We're gonna either kill it or just explode.
Tremendous. Yes.
This is Team Austin.
So the two of you fellows chose the youngest players in this entire competition. But Austin, Roger, I understand, kind of amazed you a little bit with his preparation for this event.
Roger, I remember when I was training we're going to call it training because I really didn't prepare much for my initial run on Jeopardy. And I remember watching this video where this guy was breaking down on an XY axis statistical analysis of where Jeopardy clues come up and what is more apt to. And so I'm like, hey, Roger. So I was looking at this thing, and Roger's like, that was my YouTube video. So I actually trained for regular season Jeopardy by watching a video of the guy who is now on my team. So I married up.
Okay, good for you.